Hi everyone, welcome to the first episode of Clear Cut by me, Lil Cavi. Today we are going to be discussing whether or not the Cleveland Cavaliers have a chance at winning the 2018 NBA Championship. And to be very honest, as a Cavs fan myself, while looking at this subject with as least biased as possible right now, we unfortunately do not stand a chance. We have one saving grace, and that's that the trade deadline is not till Thursday, the 8th of February. And if we make certain adjustments, then we can put ourselves back in the race to challenge Golden State. Let me just say very clearly that if Gordon Hayward was fit since the start of the year for the Boston Celtics, I believe I could comfortably say that Boston side would beat this Cleveland Cavaliers team in 6 or 7 games in the Eastern Conference Finals. However, he is not fit. Kyrie Irving can do a lot on his own, and I say on his own even though he does have some nice pieces, some nice youngsters. Jaylen Brown's a very good player. Jason Tatum's a very, very good pickup from this year's draft. And Al Horford's a very decent center. He's not elite, but he's in that level just below. And yes, that Boston team with Gordon Hayward would beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, the current Cleveland Cavaliers, especially in this form. Now, there's two things the Cavs can do. And if the Cavs stay with this roster, what's likely going to happen is they do as years before, where they slightly pick it up towards the end of the year. We've got a fantastic home record recently. We're 16 out of 19, albeit that hideous loss to Houston on the weekend where we lost by over 30 points. But if this Cleveland Cavaliers roster stays as it is, they'll probably pick up some form. We've got the best player in the world in LeBron James. And you know, those series that we used to sweep in 2017 and 2016 will probably turn into 5-game series, and simply due to the LeBron factor, we'll probably scrape past Boston in 6 or 7. But then there'll be a very, very genuine chance that Golden State sweep the Cavs in the finals. Unless, you know, our shooters get hot, LeBron has a triple-double, and we scrape one game in Cleveland, it looks like a sweep. Now, the main difference between the Cavs last year, who were a very decent side that swept the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, beat Boston 4-1, and then got blown away by Golden State 4-1. But that was an awesome Golden State side, a 73-win team that had Kevin Durant. You'd expect no less. I think it was only Cavs fans like myself who believed we had a chance, when in actual fact there wasn't really any. There are main differences between then and this year. So the obvious one is the Isaiah Thomas-Kyrie Irving trade. The Cleveland Cavaliers gave away all-star point guard and superstar Kyrie Irving to the Boston Celtics in return for Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, the Brooklyn Nets pick, which the Celtics had acquired from a previous trade, and Ante Zizic. Now, looking at that trade in the moment, I would actually say the Cleveland Cavaliers win that trade, because what the Cavs think they're getting is an Isaiah Thomas that shoots 46% from the field last year, someone that shot 38% from three-point land last year, and someone that averaged 28.9 points a game and was in the top 5 MVP candidates. However, what they have got is a slightly different story. Isaiah Thomas in his 13 games this year, yes, we respect he's coming back from injury, and some Cavs fans and the front office will be willing to give him a chance. But in the 13 games he's played, he's shot 23.7% from 3. His field goal percentage is a very, very weak 36%. And he's averaging 15 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. So that's not the player we thought we acquired. So immediately that's a serious, serious blow in terms of our points, rebounds, assists, and efficiency at the point guard spot. Jay Crowder. I hear a lot of people talking about his defense, how he's a very, very solid two-way player. Now, I haven't seen that from Jay. The Jay Crowder the Cavs have acquired this year doesn't seem like the same player that was playing for Boston last year. That's another loss in this trade. The next pick is something that we can either use now as part of a trade before the 8th, or it's something that we're going to use in the future if LeBron leaves and we're going to use it to build. But that does nothing for the Cavs this year. If we're going to draft a rookie, you know, I hope he's a good rookie that can be built around. I mean, I hope LeBron doesn't leave, but if he does and we have to build around this rookie, and it's someone in the caliber of De'Aaron Fox or Tatum or Kuzma, yes, that's great, but that doesn't help us with our championship hopes this year. You look at the Cavs from last year and this year, there's one major positive difference, and that's Kevin Love. Kevin Love's playing the best basketball of his career. Unfortunately, he's injured now for 6 to 8 weeks. But instead of being some sort of, side fiddle to LeBron and Kyrie, he's very much the number two. He's the second go-to on this team when the ball isn't in LeBron's hands. And even if it is, LeBron loves kicking it out to Kevin Love. He's shooting fantastically from three-point land. He's improved his free throw percentage. He's shooting extremely efficiently from the field. And that's one main positive that gives me belief that the Cavs can win the championship. But two major downsides is that J.R. Smith has been near awful, and as has Tristan Thompson. J.R. Smith had a very, very useful year for the Cavs in the season we won the championship. He averaged 12.4 points a game and shot 40% from three. This year, he's getting 8 points, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds on 34% from three. And when you've got someone in your side who you're essentially counting on to make threes and be a sharpshooter, shooting for 34% just really isn't good enough. And Tristan Thompson, I haven't been keen on him since last year's finals. I think LeBron made a massive error in in encouraging the front office to give him that $15 million a year contract. From last year, his field goal percentage has dropped. The only thing he's doing better is his shooting from the stripe, but he actually gets there less. He's gone from 9 rebounds a game to just under 6, and he's gone from 8 points a game to just over 5, and he gets nowhere near as many offensive rebounds. So, put the big move, the Isaiah, Kyrie aside, there's a lot of small things that aren't going well. Smaller pieces in our side, such as the decline of JR and Tristan Thompson have gone down, and that doesn't give me so much hope with our roster as it stands. So, to answer the question of can the Cavs win the 2018 NBA Championship, we need to make serious adjustments because this roster will just about scrape its way to the 2018 NBA Finals, where we will probably get swept by the Golden State Warriors. So, speaking of adjustments, what can we do? Who is available? Now, Doc Rivers said last week that he's not looking to blow up the side, but they seem willing to listen to offers for some of their star players. The Blake Griffin trade was a total shock. He was not, I didn't hear reports about it in days before. So I hope players like Lou Williams and players like DeAndre Jordan are available. We seriously need more rebounds and we need a rim protector. DeAndre Jordan averages 15 rebounds a game and almost 12 points a game. That is a massive upgrade on Tristan Thompson. They have a similar free throw percentage and he actually also shoots better from the field. DeAndre Jordan, yes, is on a bit more money, $20 million a year, but Tristan Thompson on $50 million a year, so it's not a crazy increase. So the first thing I do is look to move Tristan Thompson. Cleveland's first round pick, not the Brooklyn Nets one. Cleveland's first round pick, Tristan Thompson, and maybe Iman Shumpert for DeAndre Jordan. That's priority number one. That would already make me feel a lot more comfortable, heading into the playoffs. But there's a second thing we seriously need to look at, and that's what are we going to do at the point guard spot? Isaiah Thomas is 28 years old, and if the Cleveland Cavaliers get the Isaiah Thomas that's, averages that 28.9 points a game that he did last year, and he slots straight into this side and he does that straight away, then of course, we welcome him with open arms in a heartbeat. That hasn't been the case. We don't know if it will be the case. And if it was up to me, we get rid of Isaiah Thomas and we bring someone in like Lou Williams. Isaiah Thomas' contract runs out at the end of the year as well. Now we have a few options. We either trade him before the deadline on Thursday, we lose him for free at the end of the year, or we pay him. Now he's going to want a max contract. And the only alternative to the max contract is either the two things I mentioned previously, or hoping he accepts 15 to 22 million. And even then, do we want him? Now, there are certain reasons I don't want Isaiah Thomas in this Cleveland Cavaliers team. Number one, he's arguably the worst defender in the NBA. Nothing to do, it's not his fault, it's his size, it's out of his control. But he is arguably the worst defender in the NBA. I don't like how he comes into this locker room and goes at someone, i.e. Kevin Love, who got 14 rebounds in a Game 7 in 2016 and helped this Cleveland Cavaliers side win their first ever NBA championship, and someone who's playing the best basketball of his career until Isaiah showed up. And in my opinion, I don't want Isaiah's max contract on our books come the end of the year. The max contract he's probably going to be demand to be paid. So I say we do a group trade, we combine it all in one where we give up Isaiah, we give up the Cleveland first round pick, Tristan Thompson, and Shumpert. Possibly we're going to have to throw in Channing Frye, and in return get DeAndre Jordan and Lou Williams. And I'm aware Lou Williams specializes coming off the bench, but if we can line up this year with a 5 heading into the playoffs, which says Lou Williams at the point, J.R. Smith shooting guard, LeBron James, Kevin Love, and DeAndre Jordan at center, that makes me feel a lot more comfortable. Something else I'd like to do is, if we don't have to include Channing Frye in that trade to the Clippers for DeAndre Jordan and Lou Williams, we ideally move JR and Frye or something else for George Hill, and we play George Hill at shooting guard, and we play Lou Williams at the point, LeBron, Love, and DeAndre Jordan at the center. I'd feel a lot more comfortable, and I believe that Cavs team, with the better rim protection, better production at the point guard spot, based on how Isaiah is playing this year, and George Hill coming in at shooting guard over J.R. Smith, who's an excellent shooter, by the way, I'd feel a lot more comfortable with that 5. I believe that 5, providing we pick up some form towards the end of the regular season, we're all going to go into, we're going to switch into our mode of taking things a lot more seriously. LeBron certainly will. I believe we'll sweep in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. Boston will have to do incredibly well to pick up any games against us, and we can provide a serious threat to the Warriors. I've heard a lot of people talk about Anthony Davis trades and going for Paul George, and yes, the Thunder risk losing Paul George at the end of the year if he doesn't, sign with them, and if they don't trade him off now. But I believe they have a chance at a championship this year, or at least getting seriously far in the playoffs, so they're going to keep him. So let's focus on these lower scale trades. I say lower scale because they're both not all-stars. They didn't make the all-star team this year. But DeAndre Jordan and Lou Williams will bring a lot to this Cavs side, and if we take them this year, I believe our chances of winning the championship, double, because more than double, because right now I don't see us having any chance. I know Golden State have lost some games recently, but I don't read much into that. Just like I don't read into much in the regular season, especially standings-wise. You can read a lot into players' points, assists, rebounds, efficiency levels, but in terms of a team's record, there's not much to read into unless they're in a serious slump like the Cavs are now. I saw a lot of dejected faces on Cavs players on Saturday night in that blowout loss to Houston, and to put it simply, changes have to be made, and it's not going to be get JR out or goodbye Tristan Thompson in bad blood. Let's not forget we won a championship with these players. J.R. Smith made, in my opinion, the most clutch play of Game 7 in 2016, which people tend to forget about. I know there was the block by LeBron and the stop by Love and the shot by Irving, but the Cavs were down 8 in the third quarter, and J.R. Smith made back-to-back 3-pointers to put us within 2 or 3 points, and that really is priceless, because if he doesn't make those shots, the game probably goes away from us. So, it's going to be goodbye JR and goodbye Tristan and goodbye whoever, in a very positive way. But if we want to stand a chance of bringing another championship back to Cleveland this year, we're going to have to make those changes. The most important one for me is getting Isaiah out of Cleveland. A lot of love for Isaiah, a lot of respect for what he's been through. I thought he was an absolute hero, dusting himself down and winning that series against the Wizards for the Celtics last year. But the fact that he's 28, which isn't crazy old, by the way, but if you add up all the things, you add up that he's 28. So if we give him a contract again this year, it's going to last till he's 32. So he's 28. He's going to demand a max contract. He's just coming off the back of a serious hip injury, and he's arguably the worst defender in the NBA. Again, not his fault. It's his height. I'd like someone else on the roster, and if it means we have to give away Isaiah to get an upgrade in another position, and get, a point guard that's maybe not as much of a superstar as he is, but does his job and isn't going to lose the Cavs basketball games, then let's do it. But to answer the overall question, the Cavs do stand a chance of winning the 2018 NBA championship, but serious adjustments are going to have to be made. We're going to have to pick up form. We're going to have to make the necessary moves in the next few days before the trade deadline. And it would obviously help if Boston or the Warriors go on a bad run. I never wish injury on any player, but obviously an injury to any of those sides. And sorry, I haven't even mentioned Houston, but I don't think they will get past the Warriors, so we don't need to worry about facing them in the playoffs. Obviously an injury to one of those sides will help us out massively. But you know, let's keep our fate in our own hands. Let's do what we can do ourselves. And aside from getting hot and working harder on the defensive end, the very obvious adjustments to be made are going to be in the trade market. And you know, my recommendations, my beliefs is that, you know, DeAndre Jordan has to replace Tristan Thompson at center, and we're going to have to come up with some sort of package deal that involves our first round pick, because we need to keep this Brooklyn Nets pick for either a superstar trade in the future or in case LeBron leaves, which is becoming actually, you know, there was talk about him leaving to the Lakers kind of died down. Now it's, you know, back on. So the Cavs need to keep that Nets pick. So it's going to look like a package deal of, you know, Tristan Thompson, Isaiah Thomas, Iman Shumpert, Channing Frye, and Cleveland's first round pick for DeAndre Jordan and Lou Williams, and you know, a roster with those two as opposed to what we have already, and giving up our first round pick, which is, you know, going to be the 28th, 29th pick. You know, we're happy to do that, and I feel a lot more comfortable heading into the NBA Finals with a roster with those two players in it. That's it for today. That's it for this clip. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Please share, please subscribe, and thanks for watching Clear Cut. Thank you.